Hey there, YouTube followers. This is Michael of Painting War Games. Sorry, part 3 has taken me a while to get to, but today we're on to the elite section of the Orks Codex. It starts on page 64 with Burner Boys. So you get 5 of them for 80 points. That comes with your standard Burna stick bombs, which are assault grenades. The Burna is weapon profile. Let me look it up right quick. Burna in shooting phase is Strength 4, AP 5, Assault 1. If you and then it has a close combat type. It's ranges user, strength or range dash, strength user, AP 3, melee two-handed. So, from what I understand, is if you don't shoot it if you don't use it during the shooting phase, it becomes a power weapon that's two-handed in the assault phase. Pretty nice. So here we go. You can include up to 10 additional burner boys for 16 points a pop. You may upgrade 3 of them to mech boys or to mechs, replacing their burners with mech tools, Slugga and Choppa for free. Any mech may be accompanied by a Grot Oiler for 5 points. Any mech may replace his Choppa for a Kill-Us-All for 20. Any mech may take items from the mech weapons list. They may take a truck as a dedicated transport. So Burner Boys, I would say it's a must to take them in a transport, because particularly the Ork truck, because it's open topped, and from what I remember 6th edition rules, and hopefully it still applies to 7th, is that if one template hits, they all hit. So you have 12 Burner Boys, and you get a good spread off your fire template, off your flame template. Those many hits, you times it by all the guys, so that'd be 12, and you got a lot of death. These are a very good anti-infantry unit. Even though it is only AP 5 and Strength 4, it's still really good. I mean, it's really good against Space Marines, in my opinion, because it is Strength 4, so you're going to win on 4s. I mean, you get enough templates, you get enough hits on those Space Marines, and they're eventually going to go down. But anyways, yeah, it's just a really good overall unit. I mean, they're solid. I sort of wish I would have seen them in like a fast attack, but they're not really fast attack. I mean, they're elite-ish, but I would have liked to have seen them somewhere else, maybe as like a troop choice, because that really would have been cool. But Ork Boys suits that purpose. So now we're going to move on to Tank Bustas. You get 5 Tank Bustas for 65 points. They have the rocket launches, stick bombs, tank busta bombs. They have the Here We Go, Furious Charge, Mob Rule, and Tank Hunters. They have their Glory Hogs, and a mission that has the First Blood secondary objective. The Ork player receives double the normal of victory points from the objective if the first casualty to be removed is an enemy vehicle that was destroyed by an attack made by 1 or more tank bustas. So that's kind of cool. You can include 13 additional tank bustas, or you can include 10 additional tank bustas for 13 points. You may include 3 bomb squigs for 5 points each. 2 tank bustas may replace their rocket launchers with tank hammers. You can upgrade one to a boss knob for 10 points. Boss knob can take melee weapons from the list. You may take a boss pole for 5 points, and they may take a truck as a dedicated transport. This is another unit that I sort of say it's an auto-include to put them in a truck, because if you're going for Glory Hogs, you want to get them up there quick and get them up there fast, and particularly take the red paint job on the truck. It's that extra inch. But yeah, these guys are made for assaulting. They're tank hammers, or Strength 8, AP 3, melee, unyieldy, which is initiative step 1, and two-handed. So they're like meltas in close combat. So we're gonna move on to knobs. Knobs are very straightforward. because I'm not getting into like their stat lines right now because their stat lines are pretty much all the same, except for knobs, which can be a little bit different. So you get a squad of knobs. You get 2 knobs and 1 boss knob for 54 points. They come with sluggish, chopless stick bombs. They have Here We Go, Furious Charge, Mob Rule. You can take an additional 7 knobs for 18 points a pop. Any model may take items from the ranged or melee list, which is cool because if you wanted if you wanted a knob, like 10-man squad of knobs filled with like power claws or combi weapons or something, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. 1 knob may take a wall banner for 20 points. Any model may take an ammo grunt for 3. Any model may take a boss pole for 5. Entire mob may take heavy armor for 4 points a pop. The entire mob may take war bikes for 27 points a model. And if the squad doesn't take war bikes, it may select a truck or a battle wagon as a dedicated transport. Knobs are one of those things that I say always get heavy armor. You're always going to give them 4. You're always going to give them that 4+ save. That way, they are guaranteed to get into close combat. Now, as far as like weapons go, I say having 1 with a power claw, which is one you're seeing on the screen. I'd say give 1 a power claw would be a good idea. You start putting too many power claws because they are 25 points a pop. You're starting to lose guys. The heavy armor is great because it gives you a 4+ save, and you know it does so that way you're just not dying from cannon fodder or bolter rounds or any type of shots on the way in. I say put them in a battle wagon, and we'll be getting to that once we get to heavy support slots. If not a battle wagon, because those are expensive, put them in a truck. Get them up there, get them up there in the close combat, because these are the guys that are going to do damage in close combat, because they do have 2 wounds, which is really cool. And they are strength 4, toughness 4, weapon skill 4. Their ballistic skill 2. Their initiative step 3. So Marines are still going before you. But they are 3 attacks on base. Of course, if you give them Slug and Choppa, you're going to get 4 base, and then plus whatever on the charge, and then whatever Furious Charge does, because I still haven't picked up the 7th edition rulebook. So yeah, give them that 4+ saves, because then that'll help them to get to close combat and in close combat. So the last one in the elite choice is, oh no, not the last one, the next one is Mega Knobs. For 120 points, you get 2 Mega Knobs and a Boss Mega Knob. These guys are basically knobs and mega armor. They have Twin Link Shooter, Power Claw, Mega Armor, which gives them 2+ save, and Slow and Purposeful. And they have stick bombs. They have Here We Go, Furious Charge, and Mob Roll. You could take 7 additional ones for 40 points. And they have the bulky special rule because they're in Mega Armor. You can replace their Twin Link Shooter and Power Claw with 2 Kill Saws for 10 points a bottle. Sorry guys, I'm really tired for some reason. Any model may replace their Twin Link Shooters with one of the following. Combi Weapon with Rocket Launcher for 5 points, Combi Weapon with Scorcher for 5 points, and any model may take a Boss Pole for 5 points. The unit may select a truck or a battle wagon as its dedicated transport. These guys, they're like Terminators, but they're not, because they have a 2+ save. They're really, these are the guys that you can keep out in the open, just sort of let them march around to get, because, the Orks are all about close combat. Battle Wagon would probably be a good idea for these guys, simply because, it has better armor on it, and if you're going to take Mega Knob, you're taking them because you want them to get in close combat, and, because they do have this slow and purposeful rule. A truck wouldn't be a bad idea, but then again, you have to be careful because they do have the bulky rule. Okay, now we're getting on to commandos. You get 5 commandos for 50 points, which isn't a bad deal. They come with Slugga, Choppa, Stick Bombs. They have, here we go, Furious Charge, Infiltrate, Mob Roll, Move Through Cover, and Stealth. Really cool to see Infiltrate and Stealth and Move Through Cover, because these guys are supposed to be the sort of like the assassins of the Ork army. You can include up to 10 additional ones for 10 points a pop. Take up to two commandos may replace their sluggas with one of the following: a rocket launcher, big shooter, or burner. The rocket launcher is 5 points. The big shooter is 5 points. The burner is 15. I would say if you're going to go this route, I give them big shooters because they're assault 3. One model may be upgraded to a boss knob for 10 points. Boss of the mob, or the boss knob may take items from the melee list, or melee weapons list, and the boss knob may take a boss pull for 5 points. These guys are all well and good. You know, the only thing I really don't like about them is that they are orc boys. Their weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 2, strength 3, tough 4, 1 wound, initiative 2, attacks 2, leadership 7, 6 plus save. You can't even give these guys a 4 plus save, which sort of sucks. The boss knob goes to strength 4, 2 wounds, initiative 3, and 3 attacks. So if you gave him a power claw, cool. Even though you're going at initiative step 1, because power claw is unyieldy, you're still punching at strength 8, which is nice. AP 1. So, and last but not least is Boss Ginkrot. He is an independent character for the commandos. So for 60 points, you get Boss Skinkrot, or Sneak Rod or Skink Rod. I think it's Sneak Rod now. I'm looking at it. The Boss Sneak Rod, the Green Ghost, 60 points. He has Stick Bombs as his war gear. He has Here We Go, Fear, Furious Charge, Independent Character, Infiltrate, Mob Rule, Move Through Cover, and Stealth. He has gifts he has the gifts of Ork and Mork. Mork's Teeth. Mork's Teeth are a pair of melee weapons, each which has the following profile: Strength is user, AP 5, melee and shred. His weapon skill, or his stat line, is weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 2, strength 5, tough 4, 2 wounds, initiative 3, 4 attacks, leadership 8, 6 plus save. He has ambush. If he joins a unit of commandos that are held in reserve and no other independent character joins the unit, then then that unit can move on from any table edge when they arrive from reserve. No dice roll is required to determine where they enter from. The Orc player chooses. In addition, he and his unit have their stealth special rule replaced with the shrouded special rule on the turn they deploy or arrive from reserves until the start of their next turn. Really cool. He can only join units. He has another. It's Boss of the Red Skull Commandos. He can only join units of commandos if he is included in a detachment that includes at least 1 unit of commandos. He does not take up a slot on the Force org chart because he is in the elite section, so that's cool. You take a squad of commandos, you don't give him the boss knob because he is technically a character. So you just make 15 commandos and you put Boss Sneak Rod in there and you march them on the opponent's side of the table. Hopefully, and you just march them into something that they're just going to rip to shreds, like scouts, something really easy. Because with the turn they come in, they even have shrouded, which is nice. And it's not bad that they have stealth on top of it. So now I'm looking at it, commandos are pretty good, even though they don't have even though they only have 6 plus 8, they do have stealth. They do have move through cover, so you can put them in cover, and you get a cover save, and then that stealth adds it to it. So not bad. All right, guys, that's my review of the orcs in the elite section. I'm sorry this took so long to get out. You know, just how things happen. You know, you're playing things and they don't work out. The winners of the elite section, I firmly believe Burna Boys are the best. Or Burna Boys and Knobs are the best. Depends on how you're playing, but I am probably going to include Burna Boys because I'm going to start using Knobs as like my characters, like my sergeants for my troop choices. Um, and then Commandos. I know it's sort of like, well, what about Tank Busters and Mega Knobs? Man, I honestly think if you want knobs, you're going to take knobs. You're not going to take Mega Knobs. Tank Busters are very situational because I don't know what the meta is in 7th edition. In 6th edition, they'd just be flat out useless because all you had was troop choices and it's all a shooting game. Commandos are really cool. I originally, first reading this the other day, I thought Commandos were junk. Now sitting here thinking about it, I think Commandos are great. If you take one squad with Boss Sneak Rod in it. Now, you can take multiple squads of Commandos and then put the Boss Knob in there, which would be a great idea. But I honestly think a 15-man group of Commandos with Boss Sneak Rod would do some damage. Particularly, they show up on the opponent's side. Then you get Line Breaker. As long as they survive to the end of the game, you're always getting a Line Breaker, which is nice. Or even if they don't, they're on the opponent's side of the table. It forces the opponent to focus on them while your other stuff moves up and just starts getting rid of stuff. So, next time will be the fast attack choices, and that is fast attack is pretty lengthy. It has the flyer, it has your war bikes, it has your truck finally. I don't know why. Well, I guess I had to put the truck in somewhere. It has your storm boys, it has your war buggies. I'm probably going to do this in a 1 or 2 take because I'm probably going to take, and it has your Def Coptas. So I'm probably going to do a section that talks about just the Def Coptas and the plane because those are mainly flying. And then I'll talk about the truck finally, the storm boys, the war bikes, and the war buggies. Now, heavy support will be broken into 2 sections. I'm telling you that now because there's a ton of it. Lords of War, of course, is going to be the last choice that I do. That I talk about Godskull, Thraka, and the Stampa, which I'm really glad the Stampa's in this book because I read over it the other night. I read over Godskull, Thraka the other night. I actually got through the book the other night too. So, all right, guys, this is Michael of Painting War Games. I'm signing out, and as always, keep gaming.